Hello everyone, hello everyone, hello everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to your first deadline day stream. Now, obviously, until now we've had a couple of transfers and a couple of movements, so we'll be talking about them all. First off, we'll be talking about our new signing, our almost done signing from Bologna, Takehiro Tomiyasu. Man, it's such a hard name to pronounce, man. We'll also be discussing the latest on Aouar. We'll also be covering the latest on Edu and Mikel Arteta. We'll also be covering the latest on Lacazette. A lot of movements. NILES as well, Runarsson And Nelson, all that we will be discussing in this video. So make sure to smash the like button and make sure to let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. How are you, man? Let me know if you can hear me. So obviously it hasn't been the kind of transfer window we wanted. It hasn't been the deadline day we wanted so far. In the morning, United announced Ronaldo, and then you just left there like, wow, we are so far behind. So it's going to be a long season for us if we don't end up signing anyone else. So I've asked a question on the poll on YouTube. Do you think Arsenal will sign any player before the end of the transfer window? Let me know that, and let me know as well on Facebook. Do you think Arsenal will sign any more players, or do you think we'll only sign the defender and that's it? Awesome, man. Thank you very much. So let's start with our new signing. Okay, we haven't completed it yet, but he will be joining us. Takehiro Tomiyasu from Bologna. Now, we've been crying for a right back. Let's be honest, we've been crying for a right back very, very much. And we currently have Chambers, Cedric, Niles, who wants to leave, Ben White, who can play as a right back, Tavares, who can play as a right back. We literally have so many right backs, but none of them is good enough. That's where our club is right now. So we are about to complete the signing of Takehiro Tomiyasu, a guy who Tottenham wanted at the beginning of the transfer window, but they decided not to go for him. So did they decide not to go for him because he wasn't good enough? Because they're top of the table right now. Can you really tell them anything? I don't think so. So he should have joined them, but he's ending up joining us. So that will be very interesting to see. As reported by, as you can see, by Fabrizio, say paperwork's completed between Arsenal and Bologna for Takehiro Tomiyasu. Edu Gaspar so fast to jump in the deal and close the agreement with player and club. Here we go, confirmed medical during the afternoon, and then official, first reported by David Ornstein. So that is looking like the only signing we're going to be making today, unfortunately. Hopefully not. Last summer transfer window, they reported that Partey was not going to join Arsenal, and he ended up joining us. So we have to wait and see. What do people think about this? A finished player going to a finished club. I mean, we have to deal with all the banter. You can run, but you can't hide. I mean, he was tackling Ronaldo. I mean, if you can tackle Ronaldo, then we're in a good place. If you can tackle Ronaldo like that, Ronaldo can have a hard time like that against him, then we're in a good place. It was also reported by a couple of more journalists that he's going to be joining us, and it came from nowhere. It actually came from nowhere. I did not expect us to sign a right back. I've said since the beginning of the transfer window, I did not expect Arsenal to sign a right back at all. And you've seen, we've waited until the final day. After 3 games, after we've already lost 3 games, that's when we are signing a right back. So I can't tell you much about him. I watched him for Japan in the Olympics, but I did not know if we were going to sign him. If I knew we were going to sign him, I would have looked at him in a detailed manner. But I watched him for 2 games in Japan, and also looked at him when he played for Bologna for a couple of games. So obviously, when like the Asian players, they usually stand out because there are not so many in the teams. Like in England, I don't think, do we even have a lot of Asian players in England? I think it's only like Son and a couple of more. So if you see an Asian player, you'll notice because there are not so many. So when he played for Bologna, I noticed him like he was a bit quick and stuff. So I noticed him playing for Bologna, but did not keep any detailed information on him and stuff. So he's the one who will be joining us first today. So I'm hoping he's not the last one. Next up, I want us to take a look at his stats from last season and the kind of player he is. Is he a good player? Is he a good enough player? Will he improve us? Is he better than the likes of Bellerin? Let's take a look. So for his statistics from last season, or for his strengths and weaknesses from last season, I'll bring it up right now, just a moment. So yeah, let's take a look at that. Strength-wise, aerial duels is very strong, something that Ben White is not. So I think that's a good thing. If they play next to each other, or he plays the right back and Ben White plays next to him, that's a good thing. They can complement each other because Ben White is not strong aerially, but this guy is 6'2", so he's a very tall right back, to be fair. He can play right back and centre back. So dribbling strong, that is good enough. Bellerin at right back, he does not know how to dribble. Cedric, I don't think he knows how to dribble. Chambers is all over the place when it comes to dribbling. He has no dribbling sense and stuff. Tierney on the other side, he can actually dribble and get past a player. So if this guy can get past a player, I saw a couple of videos of him on YouTube. He actually nutmegged a couple of defenders on the wing. If we can do that more often and get past players and cross the ball and stuff, we can be in a good place. Concentration, concentration, concentration. I cannot tell you guys how important concentration is at Arsenal. Concentration, literally the last 10 years in terms of concentration, literally every one of our defenders losing concentration. I can remember Santos, I can remember Bellerin, I can name Mustafi, Socrates, even Koscielny a couple of times. I remember Koscielny costing us the game against Atletico Madrid. So all our defenders literally don't keep concentration. That's why Arsenal could be leading a game 2-0 and there's only 5 minutes remaining and I'll still be shaking because I know, wow, Cedric can make a mistake anytime and then we are going to be under pressure for the last remaining 5 minutes. So if, his name is hard, I have to look at it every time. If Tomiyasu can actually keep his concentration for 95 minutes, we're in a good place. So that is good. He's strong. Blocking the ball strong. Yeah, I saw a very good block he made for Bologna in one of his highlights. Very, very good. He's actually kind of quick getting back. I saw Ben White doing that as well against Chelsea in a preseason friendly like a month ago. You need that. You need people who can come back and cover and make those tackles. You definitely do need that. The next strength is ball interception. Ball interception, I said in my other video talking about Tomiyasu, how important actually collecting the ball is, like intercepting the ball. You can be under attack and just that one interception can get you from defending to attacking right away. That can be the difference between you conceding a goal and you scoring a goal. Bissouma against Watford 2 weeks ago, he intercepted the ball and the ball fell to Mope and they scored a goal. Just like that, just because someone knows how to time the ball and intercept it. Do we have many players like that at Arsenal? I don't think so. I think N'Golo Conte is one of the best at that. At Chelsea is one of the best. Bissouma is very good at that. Indeed, he's very good at that, and we don't really have any players like that apart from Thomas Partey, who's unfortunately always injured. So that's not a good thing. So those are the strengths that Tomiyasu has. Let me take a few comments. I think Arsenal will sign another player, hopefully. Lawrence says loud and clear, thank you. Emmanuel says Arsenal can never sign a proper player, always spending money for nothing's sake. I don't know whether Arsenal board and coach are blind enough. Now, the only thing I can tell you about that is the current position we are right now, 20th, no European football, nothing. I think we're just going to keep struggling and struggling to get players. That's the position we are right now. And it's going to affect us for a couple of years until we really improve. We have to now depend on the likes of Saka for a couple of years. Otherwise, you're going to be just like this again. Like no player wants to join Arsenal. I'm not sure many players want to join Arsenal. Personally, if I was a footballer, I would not want to join Arsenal. And I'm an Arsenal fan because it looks like there's so many things going on there. So many shambolic stuff from top to bottom. And I would not want to be there. So I can't really blame them for that. And again, another thing I didn't really want to say, I'm going to say is, it's looking to me like Edu and Arteta, both of them, it's looking like they know they're both going to be sacked sooner or later. And they're just looking at it like, you know what, there's no need of signing players. We might not even be here in the next 2 weeks. So do you think that could be the case? Do you think Edu and Arteta are at the point where now they don't even care anymore because they know they're going to be sacked very soon? Because if that's the case, then we're in big, big trouble. Because it's looking to me like they don't care and they actually think they're going to be sacked. Because surely the season ended in May. For us, it even ended in April after we lost to Villarreal. You've had 4 months. You can't tell me Arsenal, all of those guys did not know we had a problem at right back. Why do they have to wait until the final day? So to me, it's looking like they're expecting to be sacked and they're not even bothered at all. So if that's the case, then again, it's going to be a lot of trouble. Last up, let's take a look at Tomiyasu's. Yeah, what a name, man. Weaknesses. Crossing is ranked as weak. Now, that could be a problem. Because Bellerin can't cross a ball. Chambers has been okay for the games he's played, not the best. Cedric should be okay. He's good technique-wise in terms of free kick and corners, but he's been disappointing. When it comes to things like corners, we know Pepe and Saka always disappoint me in terms of corners. We always get like 15 corners per game, but all of them hit the first man for some reason. So Tomiyasu as well is not good at crossing. So the thing I could say, I did a video talking about the formation we could line up with him. The only thing I could say is we're going to be using our left side again very, very much. So speaking of that, let me just share that. So just a moment so that I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think he's good enough. I've seen a couple of shots he's taken, which are quite good, but in terms of crossing, he's ranked as poor. So let's see. This is what I'm speaking about. So I expect us to use this side very much, this left side, with Saka and Tierney, probably Tierney there, and Saka somewhere there, obviously Aubameyang somewhere there, and maybe Pepe or Smith Rowe somewhere there. So we could see if, let's say this is Saka. I had the names up. I don't know where it went. I actually had the names up, but hey, you know how Arsenal play. We know Aubameyang is going to be there, Saka there, then Pepe there, then Tierney there, then maybe Lokonga and Partey somewhere here, and then we'll be pushing forward something like this. So this would be Gabriel and Ben White. So I'm expecting most of the time Tomiyasu to remain back. I expect him to remain back most of the time, somewhere like that. So Tierney and Saka will be bombing forward, and then we'll be using the left side most of the times because Tomiyasu is not good at crossing. So will he really help us in the final third? I do not think so. So that's the latest on Tomiyasu. Let me know what you make of this signing. Do you think he's a good enough signing? Do you think he'll really help us? Do you think he's an improvement? Have you seen most of him? I can say I knew him before because I am really a fan of the Olympics. So I was watching Japan at the Olympics, and he was okay. I don't know if it's going to be what we need. He's not a Reece James. He's not a Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's not Ricardo Pereira at Leicester. He's not any of those players at all. But at least, surely he's better than the defenders we have. Surely if he's not better than the likes of Cedric and Kolasinac, then we are in huge trouble if he's not. Let me take a few more comments. Benjamin says the guy is a very good player from what I have seen. Hopefully, listen, if you watch YouTube compilations, Kolasinac was also a good player. Let me tell you, when we signed Kolasinac, I thought he was the next big thing like Roberto Carlos. But when you actually see him play, you realize he only had like 6 good moments that were put together, and that was it. So let's hope that's not the case with him. Fofana, interesting name. I wonder if he can play for Arsenal from Leicester. I think for now they have to sign the midfielder. They have to. If they don't, if they don't, I'll just think maybe they're not interested in saving Arsenal anymore. Maybe they just know they're going to be sacked and they're not bothered about signing any more players. So let's see. Sean says he can still improve in crossing. He's 22 years old. Good point. He can still improve. Definitely, he's 22. But then again, how old is Alexander-Arnold? Right now, team, we are far behind. Like, yes, we can be patient in terms of waiting for players to improve, but these other teams already have people who are set to go. We are 20th. We don't have time to wait. That's the problem. So again, does he have any other defenders to help him out? If this guy joined when we had like Lauren or maybe even Bakary Sagna, maybe they could help him. But right now we have no one. Chambers will not help Tomiyasu at anything. Cedric will not help Tomiyasu at anything. Cedric has the most mistakes, number 2 most mistakes in the whole Premier League history in terms of the last 6 years. So how can they really help him? So let's see. Any news on Bissouma? Nothing. I've said again since day one, I do not think we'll sign Bissouma. Mostly because I don't think the club wants Bissouma. I think the fans want Bissouma. I do not think the club actually wants Bissouma. I've always felt like it's just the fans who wanted Bissouma and never the team. I've never really had that Arteta wants Bissouma that much, and that's unfortunate for us because he's a really good player. And after the 3 performances he's had so far this season, you can bet that his price has moved from 30 million to like 45. So again, we won't pay that. Arsenal still needs a number 10. Since we have Smith Rowe and Odegaard, I'm not sure we are going to sign any. And both of them will still be here in January on the likes of Partey for the African Cup. So I think we definitely need a midfielder. If you talk about number 10, I know we do need like 10 players. We do need like new 10 players at Arsenal. But for now, we really need the central midfielder. Next time we are playing against Norwich, and we literally do not have a midfield. I don't know if you guys realize. Niles is going, Willock has gone, Partey is injured, Xhaka is suspended. Who is even going to play against Norwich? Elneny again. Are we going to depend on Elneny to sort out our midfield? Man, we are in big trouble. We're in big trouble. But that's the latest on this guy, Tomiyasu, joining Arsenal from Bologna for 20 million euros and a bit of add-on. So it's going to be interesting again to see how much he's going to be earning per week. Because with Arsenal, knowing how crazy Arsenal is, don't be surprised to hear that this guy is going to be paid 200,000 a week. You know, Arsenal things. Those are Arsenal things. So that's the latest on Tomiyasu. Next up, let me take a couple of more comments and then go to the next topic. Aouar and Sanchez are both available on loan. Why don't we go for any of them? Aouar, that's what the next topic we're going to talk about. Sanchez, which Sanchez are you talking about? Like the one from the former Arsenal player, or the one at the goalkeeper? There's so many Sanchez. Just explain that, Benjamin. There's so many Sanchez out there, but maybe you're talking about the midfielder. I'm not sure. So next up, let's talk about this guy, Aouar. Again, just like Bissouma, I do not think Arsenal have really targeted this player seriously. Maybe it's just the fans that really want him and a couple of media outlets reporting it, but surely you offer 50 million pounds for a player last season, almost 45 or something, and then this summer is available on a loan deal and also available for like 20 million pounds, and you don't go for him. Sure, that just indicates to me that you didn't really want him at all, because we have a problem in midfield and you don't sign Aouar. What does that indicate? Are we a serious team, really? Other teams are so sorted in midfield. Jorginho is winning player of the year in UEFA, and we really have no midfielders, and we have the chance to sign Aouar. We have the chance of seeing him in this wonderful Arsenal jersey, and we don't take the opportunity. Surely, what's going on at Arsenal? But as of now, it's looking like we're not going to sign Aouar according to the reports, unless something happens dramatically in the last few hours, like he did with Thomas Partey last summer. No one of us expected him to sign, and then he ended up signing. So here is what Fabrizio Romano had to reported about Aouar. Let me share it right now. Yeah, this is what he reported. So Arsenal are not interested in signing HOUSSEM Aouar in these final hours. There are currently no talks with Olympique Lyon for Aouar. Arsenal are only focused on Tomiyasu deal to be announced, medical today, as Bellerin to Real Betis still resolved. So I'm not sure. So I guess, Benjamin, you're talking about Renato Sanchez, as I can see there. So you're talking about the guy at Lille. I mean, if we don't sign Aouar, surely just get any other midfielder. Even if it's that Sanchez, just get any other midfielder, because we are very short in midfield. We've seen how bad we are. We are having to play Odegaard nearly as next to Xhaka in a pivot against Man City. And you're not going to go for any other midfielders. We have no creativity again. We had no shot again against Man City. We struggled to create any chances against Chelsea. And then you want to go for the rest of the season without signing anyone to play in that position? Surely, man. Surely they're going to surprise us, because if they don't, we are going to be in a lot of trouble for next season. So, for not next season, this season, we are going to be in a lot of trouble again. Renato Sanchez, okay, I would take him, really. If you to ask me that question 3 months ago, I'd tell you the better option. But as of now, I think we just try to get players, and we just really have to get anyone, because we cannot afford to go the rest of the campaign without signing anyone in that position. And that's how it's looking like. It's looking like we're not interested in signing Aouar. It's looking like Edu and Teta are not interested to sign these players at all. They think our midfield is good. I mean, Ateta did say that Partey is injured, but we do know Partey is still going to get injured before the season ends, unfortunately. Hopefully not, but we do know he's going to get injured somewhere. Xhaka, we know he's going to get a red card. This is not his last red card this season, believe me. Lokonga, will he play every single of the 38 games, or will he get injured somewhere? We have COVID going around. People might get ill here and there, will miss players. If you're missing players, you need to get someone to have on the bench. We really do not even have people in the starting lineup, leave alone the bench. If misses Chelsea's game, they can just bring in Kochic. If Kante misses out, someone else is on the bench. United right now, for the front guys, Rashford misses out, Cristiano Ronaldo is there. For us, if Partey misses out, you look at the bench and it's full of defenders. And then the defenders who are on the bench, Kolasinac, Chambers, I mean, it doesn't fill you up with confidence. Let's be honest, it doesn't fill you up with confidence. So that's the latest for Fabrizio Romano. The only thing I can say is that Fabrizio got it wrong last summer. He also had a tweet like this last year at a time like this, and he said Arsenal have not made any bids for Partey, and then after 30 minutes we had that Partey is joining Arsenal. So let's hope Fabrizio Romano is wrong. Let's just hope Fabrizio Romano is wrong. That's the only thing I can say. So let me know what you make of that. Were you interested in Aouar, or did you want any other midfielders? Motiman says not gonna sign any central midfielder because you gave new contract to Xhaka. I mean, you gave it to him, but he's not even going to be available for the next 3 games. So who's going to play that? I mean, these are very important games. This Arsenal versus Norwich is a big game. That's 19th against 20th. Just imagine if Norwich came to the Emirates and beat us. Where do you start from there? I mean, even Conte won't join a team that just lost to Norwich. Let's be honest. These managers will not want to join. So we needed a midfielder from day one, and surely they knew that. You cannot tell me it's because there was Euros in Copa America. Madison was not playing at the Euros. Aouar was not playing at the Euros. Bruno Guimaraes went to the Olympics later on in the transfer window. All these players were available. Edu was not coaching at the Copa America. Arteta is not Spain's coach. So all of these all these players and managers were free. They were actually free during the whole summer transfer window, and then we did not go for any of them. Surely, what were they waiting for? And then we've also gotten rid of players. Willock, Torreira, who's going to play in midfield? Benjamin says there was news about from Casey yesterday. I haven't heard anything about him again. I watched AC Milan's game the other day. I think they won 4-1 against Cagliari. Giroud scored, another former Arsenal player. And Casey was on the bench. So I don't know why he was not even on the bench. He was up there with Ibrahimovic. So I don't know if he was injured or he's looking to transfer out, but that would be a good sign. If you can get Casey through the line, he can also take penalties. He's very good at scoring goals. He scores goals. He can create chances. I mean, that would be a very good signing. But with Arsenal, you expect Nenny to be playing there for a couple of more games, knowing Arsenal. So that's the latest on Aouar. It doesn't look like we're going to sign Aouar. It does not look like we're going to sign Aouar. The next player I wanted to talk about is the transfer outs. Hector Bellerin, it's looking like Hector Bellerin is going to move to Real Betis. If he passes his medical, usually players don't fail medical, so hoping he passes. But then again, it's not on a permanent deal. Please, someone explain to me. Bellerin is going to come back next season again because Betis is not going to sign him. Believe me, let me just tell you now. They're not going to sign him. So Bellerin on loan and he's going to come back next season again. So again, there I can't really blame the team, but that is a harsh lesson for Arsenal. We've suffered the last 4 years a lot, and we're going to suffer for a couple of more years. But after we get through this spell, I hope they've learned. This story of getting players and giving them 3,000 a week, this story of signing players and giving them 6-year contracts, we cannot do that anymore. Because right now we've struggled to sell any of our players. There's no one who wants Kolasinac and is looking like he's going to stay here. There's no one who's wanted Runarsson. We've had to look for a team for him. How many times do we hear Arsenal going out to actually look for a team to buy players? Usually it's the team that comes to you and asks for a player. But Arsenal is so desperate to the point we are actually the ones going to teams, begging them to buy our players because there's no one else who wants them. So putting ourselves in that position is it's so annoying, man. It's super, super annoying, and I'm hoping they've learned their lesson. We cannot afford to do that anymore. We cannot afford to do that. The moment all these players leave, the Willians, the Kolasinac, all of them to follow Mustafi and all those players, we cannot do that again. Do the right thing. Give new contracts to the good players like Tierney and Saka, the young players. Don't give three-year contracts to players who are 35 years of age. Kolasinac earns 100,000 at Arsenal. Socrates was earning 100,000 at Arsenal. We cannot afford to do that anymore. So that's why we've struggled to sell most of our players. They're not good enough. They always get injuries. They're too expensive. They get too much money per week. So many problems. The next one is Alex Runarsson. He's going to be moving to Belgium, OH Leuven. I hope I'm saying the name right, probably not. But again, not on a permanent deal. Again, it's on loan. Again, please explain to me. I can explain it to myself. There's no other team that wants Runarsson. We only signed Runarsson because he was friends with someone in the team at Arsenal. Again, another big mistake. I wonder who makes all these decisions, man. And I know you can start saying they do, but these decisions have been seeing them at Arsenal for the last 7-8 years straight. I mean, decisions that you can sit down for a full month and you just don't understand. Like, Liverpool signed Mane, Chelsea signed N'Golo Kante, and Arsenal signed Xhaka. You sit down and you wonder, what the hell is going on with this club? This is another one. No one knows why Alex Runarsson joined Arsenal, and no one knows why Alex Runarsson is moving out on loan, which means he's also going to be coming back next season to do what? What is Alex Runarsson coming to do back at Arsenal next season? We already have Leno. I'm not sure if Leno is going to be here next season. Maybe, maybe not. Ramsdale is already here. Okonkwo has been promoted. KJ Hine is there. We have 4 goalkeepers. Why is Runarsson out on loan? Just sell him. I mean, he's not good enough. We bought him for £1 million. You get what you pay for. Even if you cancel his contract, I mean, I'm ready to lose that 1 million. That's not money that actually works in this day's transfer window. So Alex Runarsson is also leaving. Reece Nelson is the other one who's about to leave, and he's about to leave again as well for another country abroad. So he's going to the Netherlands to play for Feyenoord. Reece Nelson, unfortunately for me, I don't think it has worked out for him at Arsenal. And it's not just under Arteta, it's been under Emery, under Ljungberg, and Arsene Wenger. So really, of course, he's young. He can definitely improve, but really improve massively to the point where like he becomes like a Gnabry. Obviously, Gnabry, let's remember, Gnabry was not a very good player at Arsenal, and he was not a very good player at West Brom, but he went to Bayern Munich and shocked everyone. So if Nelson ends up leaving Arsenal on a permanent deal, all the best to him, but I'm hoping he does not become like Gnabry, because if we are going to play Gnabry in the next couple of years, he could score 4 goals against us, and this is a guy who we said he was terrible. And Tony Pulis at West Brom said Gnabry was terrible. So I'm hoping Nelson, if he actually leaves, it doesn't end up being like that. But if he comes back, I'm hoping he learns something from Feyenoord and he comes back a better player. I'm hoping he comes back a better player. The next player we're going to talk about is the guy next to Nelson there. Yep, Maitland-Niles. A lot of stories about Maitland-Niles, and Arsenal is the only club on deadline day we should be talking about signing players, and we're here talking about drama that has happened on Instagram. Again, another problem at Arsenal. It's looking to me like players are not disciplined. They don't respect the management. I mean, it's just sad. It's just sad what is happening. And this is not the Arsenal I started supporting. This is not the Arsenal I started supporting. So Maitland-Niles is going to be doing a meeting with our manager today. I think right now it's 3:46 p.m. in UK. So he's going to be doing a meeting with him, and he wants to move out. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they're going to let him move out on a permanent deal like that guy next to him, Joe Willock, or he's going to be moving on loan again. So all these loan deals, we are starting to move like Chelsea. But the difference with Chelsea and Arsenal is that these players move out on loan deals, but they end up selling them. Tomori moved out on a loan deal, and they've gotten like 40 million for him. They're getting 40 million for Tammy Abraham. Bakayoko, they're going to get some money for him. And Arsenal, we really get money for these players? I don't think so. So that's the latest on him. The next one is obviously Willian. Yesterday, he wrote a kind of a sad message on Instagram and Twitter talking about how it did not work out for him at Arsenal, how he's very sad that fans did not get to watch him. Probably a good thing for Arsenal fans because of the lockdown and stuff, and no fans being allowed on the pitch and stuff. But to be fair, Willian, I'm thinking about doing a video of Arsenal's worst signings ever, and I think this guy will be in the top 10. I totally expected him to have a better time at Arsenal. I expected him to help the likes of Gabriel Martinelli. I mean, he's Brazilian, playing in the same position. You can lead him, you've won trophies, you can actually assist him in terms of becoming a better player. But all that did not work out as we expected. All that did not work out as we expected. So I'm actually going to say, I'm going to wish him all the best, and I'm going to actually say thank you, because he's left Arsenal without asking for any more money. If you wanted to completely kill Arsenal off, you have just asked, you know what, you're still going to be paying my contract for the next 2 years, and then just more problems on more problems. He's actually a decent guy for leaving the team without asking for money. So that is why I'm going to say I'm going to respect Willian for that. He's actually agreed to leave Arsenal without asking for any money. Would you do that? I mean, 20 million pounds, you're told you're going to be getting 20 million pounds in the next 2 years. Personally, do you think you'd do that yourself and just say, I don't need that 20 million? It's going to be hard. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So, although his agent has hit Arsenal, he's hit back at Arsenal, and here's what he's had to say. Here's what the agent for Willian has had to say. Just a moment. I absolutely hate the advertisements that are usually on these sites. Yeah, that's why I hate them. So let's see. Yeah, so here's what, I hope you guys can see that. So here's what Willian's agent had to say. I think Willian did the right thing. He went for the project and the project wasn't there. That's already hitting at time they do. So basically he's saying these guys lied to us. They told Willian there's going to be a project of getting back to the Champions League in the next couple of years, but when he got there was no project. Okay, unfortunately, I'd have to say, which player has moved to Arsenal that has not been a disaster in the last couple of years? This is Willian's agent going in at Arsenal. Like, don't just say it's Willian by himself. Everyone else who joins Arsenal has been terrible, and it has ended up terrible, not because of the player, because Arsenal is terrible. That is what Willian's agent is currently saying. He's saying it's not Willian's problem, it's Arsenal's problem. Arsenal is run badly, and that is why Willian could not perform. Nobody blames Mikel Arteta. We all want Arteta to do well. Even as fans, they might be disgruntled at the moment, but they want the best for the football club. Willian wants all the success for Arteta and the team. I don't think this is about Willian. I think something has gone wrong at Arsenal, and this is just one piece of the puzzle. So do you really think that is just the agent talking, or do you think Willian actually told him something behind the scenes and he actually told him, you know what, it's actually Arsenal who lied to me? There was no project, there was no process, they just lied to me. So again, that would be very sad. Again, basically they're saying there was no project at Arsenal. It's not Willian who was the problem. Let me know in the comment section, do you think Willian was the problem at Arsenal, or do you think it's everything else at Arsenal that has also caused him not to perform? Because it got to a time where every fan didn't want him, and I think he also did not want to stay at Arsenal, unfortunately for us. So okay, not unfortunately, fortunately for us, he did not want to stay. And it started to end that way. He did not want play. I usually don't want players to leave Arsenal with bad blood, like, you know, Alexis Sanchez, Van Persie. I usually do not like that. Leave the club like Wilshere. I don't think any Arsenal fan hates Wilshere. I don't think any Arsenal fan hates Henry. Like, if you live like that, it's okay. But if you live like Sanchez and those players, it's sad. So let's see. Almighty James says, all the players Arsenal recently let go, such as Guendouzi, Willock, Saliba, Martinez, Torreira, are all much better and more exciting to watch rather than Xhaka, Holding, Chambers, Bellerin, and Suarez. I agree that they're definitely better than what we have. But if you can get much better than them, let me tell you my honest opinions on them. Torreira, I do not think is qualified enough to play for Arsenal in that midfield. If you lose the midfield battle in the Premier League, you're done. And I think the likes of Ndidi, N'Golo Conte are way stronger than him, so he would struggle. But again, like you say, he's better than what we have right now, so I agree with that. Martinez, we were so dumb to sell him. I do understand he wanted to become the first-choice goalkeeper. I do understand we had paid money for Leno before that. I do understand Martinez had not joined Arsenal for any really much amount of money, so that's why they had to play Leno, but you should keep him. I mean, we've had players who wanted to leave their team, but they don't leave. You convince him and you make him stay for one season and you play. Maybe you would have stayed and maybe you would have won the Europa League, and then you let him go after that. After you've already achieved whatever you wanted, then you can let him go. But selling them without even achieving whatever you wanted, that's a no-no. Saliba, I do not understand. If Kolasinac is better than Saliba, Arsenal is finished. If Kolasinac is better than Saliba, we are finished. If you can actually convince me that Kolasinac, Chambers are better than Saliba, we are a finished club, because that could be the only thing at stake they do are thinking. This guy cannot be better than Kolasinac. If that is what they're thinking, then we are done. We are absolutely done. If we signed him for 30 million and I cannot play ahead of Kolasinac, we are done. Guendouzi, I mean, I think Guendouzi is a bit childish, though. I think Guendouzi likes going in at Arsenal. I saw him writing something else the other day. I don't know. For me, I'm okay with Guendouzi leaving Arsenal. Xhaka, I do not understand why he's still here. Holding, same. He's been here for like 8 years. Chambers, same. I mean, look at Shot United. They came from the same team, but look at the impact Shots for United. Bellerin, last season I was okay with Bellerin staying, but definitely not this season. Cedric, Xhaka has the most mistakes in the Premier League in the last 5 years. Cedric is number 2. The whole Premier League, in terms of making mistakes, Cedric is number 2. Xhaka is number 1. We have 2 players in the top 2, gold and silver. Norwich has no players. Burnley has no players. These ones have no players. Arsenal have 1 and 2. So if Cedric leaves, I'll not cry about it. If Cedric leaves, I'll not cry about it. Bulafu says, what about Asensio? I've heard rumors about it that Arsenal could go in for Asensio. We have a good relationship with Madrid, obviously with Ceballos and Odegaard. We have a good relationship with them. So they could give him to us, but not signing. I do not think we can pay that 40 million for Asensio. I would not be surprised if they actually let him go on loan to Arsenal. It looks like we have a good relationship with them. I'd love him at Arsenal. I think it would have been an improvement, but I really do think we need midfielders for now. I'd try really to get midfielders instead of attacking players right now. If we can't get Aouar, then there's no use of buying other players. We need Aouar. Edu, you got to step up, boss. Moses, I've just said right now, I do not even think Edu is going to be here for way too long. I think he actually does know it. So is he really bothered to bring us Aouar? I don't think so. So again, we're in a position where, a bad position. We're in a really, really terrible position as a club. Mortiman says Niles stopped from training with the first team. Yeah, he's going to do a meeting with Arteta. I think he really, really wants to leave, and that is actually another reason why we've gone for another right back. That's why we've gone for another right back last minute, because Niles is going to leave and Bellerin is leaving, so they've had to move very, very fast. For me, I said since day one, I did not think we were going to sign a right back, and I think the reason we are signing a right back right now is because he actually put that message on Instagram right now on his Instagram story. Niles is no longer happy with the club. He should let go. Yeah, if a player does not want to play for you, just let him go. Much respect to Willian for that gesture. Man, I can't even talk, man. Gesture. Much respect to Willian for that gesture. Yep. Abdi says Arsenal has now spent 150 million if they get this defender from Syria. Yeah, 150 million. And listen, I think Ben White is a good signing. Don't listen to the rival fans talking about Ben White got turned against Brentford. Don't listen to that. Obviously, they are there to laugh at us. But I do not like it when Arsenal fans start talking about how useless Ben White is. He's not a useless defender. He's 10 times better than Holding and Chambers. We would not be conceding such goals if he was there. Maybe you'd have conceded 3, but not 5. So I think he's a better defender in terms of passing, in terms of running back for the ball, in terms of position. I think he's better than all at that. But 50 million pounds, I'm not sure about 50 million pounds. That's the problem. I'm not sure about 50 million pounds. Maybe 40. I would have paid 40, but 50 is a bit too much. His agent is spot on. Mortiman says Willian's agent is spot on. In case you're just joining, by the way, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Mortiman is talking about this. Willian's agent talking about Arsenal. He said it was not Willian's problem. It's Arsenal's problem. He basically said it's Arsenal that is in a place and not Willian that caused Arsenal to drop down. He's basically saying Arsenal is the one that has made Willian drop down even further in his career. So that's actually that's almost like a very, very bad diss. Like Arsenal is in a shambles and it's not even my player. And this is a guy who was getting along with our board. So players who left Arsenal loan, returned from loan, including Odegaard sales of free deals in total are worth 140 million. We got 27 million total from Willock. Again, to me, I always wonder, how are Chelsea able to get 40 million for Abraham, 40 million for Tomori? Liverpool are able to get 12 million for Shaqiri. I've seen Shaqiri playing 2 games in the last 3 years, and they can get him for 12 million. They can get 12 million for him. For us, we can't even get 5 million for Bellerin. We can't get any money for Xhaka. People are offering 10 million. We can't get any money for Runarsson. Do you want to tell me every Arsenal player is that bad? Yes, I'll answer my question again. Yes, but we are also bullied very much in the transfer window. We cannot afford to get bullied all the time in the transfer window. Stay strong. And that's why I don't mind Arsenal actually, sorry for that. That's why I actually don't mind Arsenal saying no to Niles leaving on a free deal. I don't mind that. Like, stay strong and let the teams pay for him. Let us get some money for him. Abdullah says Rob Holding is the poorest Arsenal defender. I mean, they're all of them. I just put them on the same level. Kolasinac is worse. Holding is there. Chambers is there. I mean, all of them are bad. We have like 10 bad defenders. Even the ones who are out on loan, the likes of Mavropanos, I don't think Mavropanos is Arsenal level. So we have like 10 bad defenders in Arsenal's name. Just too many flops at Arsenal. Holding, Cedric, Chambers, Kolasinac, way too many, Bello. Last season, the project was more experienced players like Willian, Mari, Cedric, Luiz, and now all of a sudden it's young players. yeah, that shows you that we have no structure at Arsenal. Everything is a shambles. When you start switching like that, everything is a shambles. Cookie says if Renato Sanchez is available, that's the only exception for not signing Aouar, because Renato Sanchez is very good. He's better than what we have for sure. Back three of White, Tomiyasu, and Gabriel would be solid. Yeah, let me show you. In case you haven't watched my video for how Arsenal could line up with him in three positions he can play, make sure to go and watch it. For now, I'll show you a sneak peek of it, and that is what Babu O is talking about, and that's this formation. So if Tomiyasu completes his medical at Arsenal, here's what it could look like in a back five, like we did against City the other day. You could have Gabriel, White, Tomiyasu at centre back, which is definitely stronger than having Kolasinac, Chambers, and Holding. This is 10 times better. Tierney, Cedric, Lokonga, Partey, Saka, Odegaard, and Aubameyang. That is how you could line up at the right centre back position. So that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. And all of a sudden, if you look at that bench, that's a strong enough bench. That's better than what we've had. I mean, if you can bring in Lacazette, Pepe, Martinelli, Smith, that's good enough. That's good enough. But the problem is Arsenal's players do not stay fit for the whole time. So if you add Aouar here, you're set. That's why I've put 8 defenders on the bench. I've left one spot for Aouar somewhere here. You see how clever I am? I've put one spot for Aouar here just in case at 10 they do watch this video. They'll be asking why has Glen put 8 defenders and 8 players on the bench, and I'll tell them because I'm waiting for Aouar. That's why. Let's see. Let's take a couple of more comments. I'll be back again with a couple of more streams. Hopefully, we'll be signing more players. By the way, the Aouar deal is off. Yep, I've just said it's off. But that's what they said about Partey last summer, and you still ended up signing Partey. Arsenal bad with moving old and wanted stop. Very, very bad. And that's also because you have very bad players at Arsenal. That's the problem. Again, it's okay that we signed those players. And I'm fair enough to say it's not only Edu and Adso who have signed those players. Players like Mustafi for 36 million, players like Kolasinac should never have joined Arsenal. So I'm hoping we are learning. I'm hoping we've learned that we cannot have these players at Arsenal anymore, and we cannot be signing these players. This story of signing 50 million pound players for 5 years and then he's 36 years of age, such stuff I do not want to hear. Look at Leicester, man. That is why Leicester have overtaken us, because they have good. Again, another thing, I think Arsenal don't have good scouts. I think the other teams have good scouts, and I do not think Arsenal have good scouts at all. So you can blame it on Arteta, and I do, but also our scouting is bogus. Like whoever's looking for players at Arsenal is terrible. I think most of you in the comment section would do a better job than our scouts at the moment. So Renato Sanchez is going to Wolves on loan. Again, Edouard is going to Crystal Palace. Surely Crystal Palace is not attracting players more than Arsenal. Surely Wolves is not attracting players more than Arsenal. It's just because we don't want these players. Basically, it's looking like we do not want these players. Ben says Pepe or Odegaard. Are you talking about, let me see, like in this position? Anyone really, it just depends on you. I've put that just to focus on Tomiyasu. Obviously, you could have Martinelli instead of Saka, depending on who you prefer. You could have Lacazette instead of Aubameyang, depending on who you prefer. You could have Odegaard on the bench and have Pepe. That just depends on who you prefer. You could even have Xhaka. There are people who still love Xhaka. You could still have Xhaka instead of Lokonga. It just depends on who you prefer. I'll just put in that to show you about Tomiyasu. If you want to check the full video, the link is in the description on YouTube. You can check it out. The full video talking about the 3 positions he can play for us. All these players are halfway players. Like, do they even get to halfway? These are like quarter players. It's time for Arteta to go. Sadamze says, and Arke says, how are you doing? Greetings from Dallas. Thank you. Thank you very much. Before I end it, I just need 5 comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Which country are you based in? Let me know in the comment section. Which country are you watching from? Which country are you watching from? So we've talked about Tommy Niles wanting out. He wants to leave. We've talked about Aouar. It's looking like that deal won't happen, as Babu O said. Willian to Corinthians is a done deal. I respect Willian for not actually demanding money. He's actually done a good thing. Bissouma will not be joining Arsenal, and if he does, we are going to have to add 15 million to the 30 million. Trippier to Arsenal is not looking likely. Asensio to Arsenal could happen from nowhere, but maybe on loan or something, not on a permanent deal. Takehiro is joining Arsenal. Reece Nelson is joining Feyenoord. Alex Runarsson is joining a Belgian team by that name over there on screen. Hector Bellerin is joining Real Betis, and Tomiyasu is joining us from Bologna. The last player I wanted to discuss before we end it is Lacazette. So Lacazette will not be signing a new deal, and he will not be leaving this summer transfer window, which means he will be leaving us next summer transfer window on a free deal. He will be leaving Arsenal for free next summer. So that is what is going to happen next summer. He's going to leave on a free, which for me, I'm okay with, because if they were really going to let him go, you should have done that 2 months ago, sell him, and then buy a striker. Because as of now, strikers have gone. Edouard has gone, Ings has gone. Like, strikers have, the market is dry right now, unless you have to pay 50 million for a striker. So Lacazette will be leaving on a free, which means this season we could hope for a couple of goals from him this season. Let's hope he can get us a couple of goals this season. Let's hope he can get us 20 more goals this season to help us at least finish in the top 10 and not get relegated. So that's the latest on Lacazette. No new contract for him. He will be leaving on a free next summer. So that's the latest news. Let me check the last couple of comments and then end it there. RK said Dallas. Owalabi says Dubai. Almighty says Australia. Ben Wilson said Manchester, tough being an Arsenal fan. Yeah, oh yeah, you live in Manchester, you're an Arsenal fan. I can just imagine, man. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Those guys are buzzing. Ronaldo, and we can't even get a war. Bring back Dennis Bergkamp. Just ask if he can play a game or two and just bring him back or something. Babu also is watching from USA. So thank you very much for that. That's the 5 comments I asked for. Thank you very much. So I'll be back again with more updates. Let's hope we can sign a player. Last time out, we signed Partey very, very late on. Very, very late on, we managed to sign Partey. Ali Nuru says from Kenya, thank you very much. So that's the latest. Let me know in the chat again what you make of these signings. Takehiro Tomiyasu. That's his name. What a name, man. What an interesting name. I'm hoping it's better than what we have. So thank you for watching. Make sure to smash the like button. I'll be back again in a couple of hours. Subscribe if you're new. Follow and like the page if you're watching on Facebook. And I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.